Steve Guarino, KO Artist Sportswear here with the one and only Eddie Hearn. Good to see you, man. New Orleans, never been. Thank you. Thank you for bringing the title defense here. Just talk about winning the Regis Prograis sweepstakes. I mean, I feel like he set it up here that you kind of dangled, hey, I got June 17th all ready to go, and I feel like maybe that nudged it over a little bit.
Yeah, it's flattering, really. I mean, everybody wanted to sign him. I feel like he's the best 140-pounder in the world. The key was activity. The key was bringing him home. The key was trying to make the big fights. And he believed in me and us, and that's flattering, you know, and that means a lot, and it means we won't let him down. So a big signing for us, and looking forward to a huge show in New Orleans on Saturday.
Zerrillo's a tough opponent, especially to come in late as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, he had actually a very close fight with Barbosa at late notice, and you know, there's a lot of pressure on Regis, not just the hometown defence, but everyone's talking about Teo and Devin and all these big fights. He's got to win, but he's got to win in a certain type of way. Like if he labours to a victory in a close fight, there's going to be a lot of people just talking about, you know, right now everyone's hot on Teofimo last week. So now he's got to knock this guy out and make everyone hot on Regis Prograis. And that's what happens in boxing. So he needs to make a statement.
I mean, I don't know, right? Maybe if he struggles, maybe then these people all of a sudden want him.
Yeah, true. I mean, look, I think that's a good point. You know, certain fighters who believe in themselves so much will fight Regis Prograis now. But some won't. You know, I don't criticise those people. But like Ryan Garcia is a good example. You know, he's moving to 140. He wants to fight for a world title. We're on the same platform. He wants to fight Rolly Romero. Why? Easiest fight out there in the division for the champions. No disrespect, Rolly. But you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of the other champions, everyone knows that's the easiest fight. He doesn't mention Regis's name. In fact, the only person that really mentions Regis's name is Devin, because Devin thinks he can beat him. So if you believe you can beat him and your team believe you can beat him, you look to actively make the fight. If not, you stay away from it. You know, and that's how boxing works. There's no point sugarcoating it. Right. That's just how it works. If Regis wasn't any good, Ryan Garcia and those boys would be all over it to try and make the fight. But they just go, imagine Oscar. Oscar knows his boxing. Eric Gomez. They'll be looking at it and going, no.
No calls from Oscar?
Not yet. No, definitely not.
I know, I don't know if it was an interview with you or Regis, but Matthias was, I think, kind of in conversations as far as you guys trying to get him to maybe start kind of unifying the division again. Is that true?
Yeah, we had chats with him. I mean, we're talking about doing a Puerto Rico fight and then maybe a unification. I think he's fighting Lipinets coming up on a PBC show. We'd love to make the unification. You know, it's a great fight. Matthias is a good fighter. Strong, dangerous. So, yeah, you know, the plan always is to unify.
Obviously, like you mentioned, the man in the division right now, Teofimo Lopez, pretty dominant victory over Josh Taylor. I mean, a lot of us didn't expect it. What were just your thoughts while it was happening?
It surprised me as well. I thought it was a great win, great performance, great victory. And I think he's, you know, he's up and down. He's a bit crazy. You know, I mean, really, he lost to Kambosos. He pretty much lost to Sandor Martin, I thought, you know. And then goes and beats Josh Taylor. So Josh definitely needs to move to 147, but take nothing away from Teofimo. I thought it was a great victory.
It definitely was. It was just amazing to see and good for him. Right? Yeah. Can you call him two-time undisputed? Is that
how? I mean, firstly, whatever way you want to look at it, he wasn't undisputed at 135 because there was a franchise champion. So you can't unify with a franchise belt. So therefore, if you can't unify with a franchise belt, how can it be undisputed? But he was a bit hard done by there. That wasn't his fault. So kind of like, you know, it kind of was undisputed without being undisputed on paper. This time around, he's one belt. How can you even say? Yeah, but I mean, there's 3 other belts that you can't. Like, if we start calling that undisputed, what? So Regis is undisputed. I mean, like, you know, so, but the reality is I mean, look, it's a bit boring now, but Jack Catchell beat Josh Taylor, right? It's like, but regardless, Josh hasn't boxed for over a year, right? But he has one, I know he has the ring belt, but he has one belt. You can't, I mean, there is an argument to call himself undisputed lightweight world champion. I get it. On paper, no, but the reality is he should have been. This time around, absolutely not. I mean, you can't just forget about Regis, Matthias. Rolly shouldn't be world champion anyway, but it is what it is. But you could say that Josh Taylor was number 1 in the division, arguably. So you could say he's beaten the number 1 fighter in both divisions. And like it's 2 massive wins. But he's just like that, isn't he? Teofimo. Like, he fights Cambosis, gets beat. Fights Sandor Martin. Like, he seems to rise to these big fights, and full respect to him.
You mentioned Devin Haney earlier. I know there was Twitter talk. Is he going to come through? Is he going to be here?
He won't be here. No, he's got an event that he's got to go to. But I spoke to him last night. He thinks he beats Regis Prograis, and I will make him an offer next week for this fight. And if he wants to take a shot at the WBC Championship to become a 2-division world champ, we'll give it to him.
I don't know. I know Devin or Bill Haney's been talking to Bob, but as far as you know, Devin's a free agent and free to talk.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what they're going to offer him. I mean, the Lomachenko rematch. I don't think, maybe Shakur, which I don't think they'll look to take that fight yet. And I don't think you can offer him Teofimo yet, because that conversation is going to be a tough one. So I think, if he really believes he can beat Regis, I think he'll take the fight.
What do you think about Shakur and Devin's little run?
It's good. No, Shakur's very good. I've been on record to say, as much as I love Devin, I do think Shakur is the best 135-pounder in the world. Yeah. And unfortunately, he hasn't had the promotion that his talent deserves. So therefore, Haney against Shakur is not actually that big, and it should be massive because it's a brilliant, So yeah, two great fighters.
Obviously, the best fight that can be made without Tank Davis, right? Obviously. Just switching gears real quick, want to talk about a little Canelo stuff. I was in New York over the weekend, talked to Bivol. Doesn't sound like much is happening, at least from his end. I mean, can you tell me what's? I know Canelo really wants a rematch. What's the hold up there?
Yeah, just with going through the deals with the fighters. We offered Bivol a deal which he didn't accept. We need to get the money right for both guys. I still think it's the preferential choice of Sal, but obviously he's got Charlo, he's got Benavidez. I think the Badu Jack fight is one maybe for early next year. We've got a couple of options that we're talking to him about as well next week, so we'll have to see. But it's ongoing with Dmitry Bivol.
Is it just a pure money situation, or is it like a weight thing as well? Because I know Bivol said 68.
The WBC won't put the belt on the line, so it couldn't be undisputed at 68. Sal wants the same conditions as before to prove that he can win that fight under those circumstances. So there's a few things, but ultimately the money's not acceptable yet, so we have to get there.
You said there were a couple other options. You want to drop those names real quick? Think about it.
No, I'm good.
All right, brother. And last one. What's the latest with Anthony Joshua, man? We keep, obviously we heard Tyson Fury. I feel like I hear that enough now that I just don't believe it ever.
Everyone's getting bored of that one. But we want to fight Deontay Wilder in December in Saudi Arabia. We hope to close that in the next week. But August 12th, he wants to fight as well. And, really that'll be a great year for him to fight Jermaine Franklin again on August 12th and then close it out with Deontay Wilder. Be one of the biggest fights in boxing. So watch this space.
Is that true? The Tyson Fury, Usyk, and Wilder, Joshua on the same card?
That's what they'd like. But, I mean, again, getting Tyson Fury in the ring at the right terms, good luck with that one.
I feel like with all 4 of those sides might be a little bit of
maybe.
Eddie, thank you so much for your time, brother. Great seeing you.
Thank you.
As always. Cheers.